the coronavirus. This is what's dominating the news right now at the present moment. Every time you turn on the TV, you see the coronavirus. And I've had a lot of people come to me, family and friends, lots of family actually, saying we need to protect ourselves. They are scared. There are a lot of people that are scared, that are worried, that are very concerned about this new virus. Actually, the virus is not so new. It is part of a family of viruses known as the corona family of viruses, novel coronaviruses. And it's called the coronavirus because this virus has a lot of proteins that attach to the host cells where it infects the person that that gets infected with this virus. And it's all like, it's just like a shape of a crown. So it's all around this virus body. So what do we know about the coronavirus? We know that it can affect mammals, humans, birds. And this virus, in humans in particular, it creates respiratory symptoms, flu-like symptoms, runny nose, coughing, high temperature, fever, respiratory breathing difficulties, coughing. So it mimics like the flu. It seems like a cold and flu, similar type symptoms, but can become very severe. It can have an incubation period of between 1 to 14 days, or about a week on average. So what does this mean? People are running scared. They're worried because at present we have 80 people that have died. And it's been spreading, and a lot of other people are infected. So what does this mean? What is this and why is it happening? Why do these things happen? I remember I did an assignment many years ago on the SARS virus. We've had many similar viruses from the corona family. This is not the first one. In 2012, we had the Middle Eastern Respiratory Syndrome, or MERS. We had SARS in 2002 and 2003 that also broke out and killed nearly 800 people, 774 people, and infected almost 8,000 people. That was quite a large number. And that was a SARS virus in Hong Kong. Again, coming out of China. This current coronavirus has originated out of a city called Wuhan, out of China. And they believe it came out of a seafood market, food. And the interesting thing about this, once I did a little bit of research, is that we are talking about animals, the origination of viruses coming from animals and humans that are eating these animals. We're in a seafood market. So what does this mean? We are eating animals that have viruses in them, and we're getting infected, and then we are spreading it amongst each other through droplets of air or through breathing through the air. So animals. Now, the seafood market, they say that it came from a snake. How did a snake get infected with this coronavirus? They say that the snake became infected by a bat. And the funny thing is, when I had a look at this online, I come across these videos of people eating very strange animals. And one of them was a bat. This is a very recent one that's going around at the moment that's been seen of a lady, a Chinese lady, I believe, eating a bat soup. And there's another one that I saw of a meal called 3 squeaks, which is a meal that people eat of 3 baby mice, and they are alive, and it's called 3 squeaks. So you can only imagine what that means. I don't even want to think about it. So this makes me think, it sounds quite horrid. What are we doing to these animals? Why are we eating animals that are alive? Live mouse. I recently saw another video a couple of months ago about a person eating a lobster alive, and the lobster's eyes were looking at it. Why are we eating animals alive? We have gone to the next level of, I don't know what to call it, but we are creating suffering on a whole other level for animals, for other living beings. Why are humans considering themselves superior to animals, that we feel that we can do whatever we want to them. Not only do we kill them and breed them for our own consumption, but now we are not even killing them, we're just eating them alive. It's madness. Oh my goodness. I don't even know what to say about it. But it just makes me think. The reason why I'm bringing all this up is it makes me think, what are we doing? Why do these things happen? We bring upon a lot of suffering on animals, even the cows. You think about the mad cow disease that went around with the cows. So how do we kill animals? How do we slaughter these cows, for example? A lot of it is quite brutal and inhumane. And that suffering is now being passed on to us in a whole different level. Diseases, viruses being contracted through animals. Now, I'm not saying that everybody that eats animals is going to get viruses. No, of course not. What I'm trying to do is ask some questions to allow us to think on a higher level of consciousness. How our actions affect the world around us. Even what we do to other living beings. How is that affecting them, and how is it affecting us? What we do to others comes back to us. It affects us in some way. So, this coronavirus, what else have I been looking at, and what else have I been researching? This coronavirus, not only have there been several various strains of it in the past, the SARS virus in Hong Kong that I mentioned before, the MERS virus in 2012. Also, there have been actually testing some of these coronaviruses in several labs in China, and one of these labs is in Wuhan. In 2017, in fact, the US gave out some warnings and were worried about this virus spreading and escaping or somehow getting out of this lab. And although these labs have very, very high biosecurity and protections, there is risks because it's such a virus that spreads quickly if not contained. There were concerns back in 2017. So this is all the information that we are not being told. What else are we not being told? In 2018, at a global conference, in Massachusetts, run by the Massachusetts Medical Society. At this conference, Bill Gates was speaking. Very wealthy and successful tycoon or business person, Bill Gates. We've all heard of him, I'm sure. Have a look up if you haven't, to look him up on the internet. Bill Gates, software, Microsoft billionaire, you could say. He actually made a prediction that at some point in the future, we would have a flu-like pandemic or epidemic or outbreak where this virus would affect a large number of people and spread and eventually kill it would eventually kill in 6 months 33 million people. He actually ran a simulation, and you can find this also, this simulation that he ran. So in 2018, he was doing a simulation about a flu-like viral pandemic that would break out and could potentially kill 33 million people. This is quite interesting. So these elite people have already the knowledge of a potential viral outbreak. How do they know this? This is the question that I'd like to know, as I've seen these predictions coming out of the global elite in other areas as well. When you look back in history, you see patterns. So how do they know? One question is perhaps they are part of the projection or the planning of these viruses. Maybe it is some kind of a test. Maybe it's all planned or man-made. I always like to think about the movie The Matrix series starring Keanu Reeves. I remember watching that movie and I started to think that actually the world really does function a little bit like this movie The Matrix. It's like it's breaking the code for us and telling us what's going on in some ways. And one of the people on the movie The Matrix, the agent, we have him saying that humans are a virus. And that really stuck in my mind when I heard that. I used to think, because I enjoyed studying biology at school and studying bacteria and viruses. And I thought, well, are we really like a virus spreading and populating the earth? Well, in some ways, some people like to think that we are. And some people, I'm not sure who these people are, perhaps want to keep this under control, population control. This has been spoken about by the global elite and other people speaking on a global level. about the population of the planet and is it sustainable for the Earth. Now, I'm not saying this is my opinion, but there are people that are thinking on these terms. And if you look and research this, you will find that these thoughts are out there. Population control. Is this a test for population control? I also find it interesting the numbers involved, 33 million. When you add up all of the numbers on the simulation that he projected, a specific number of people, I think he had 31,126 and something else, some sort of number. And when you add up all those numbers, it equals 21, and then that equals 3. So you've got 33 million, but the exact breakdown of the numbers is equals 333 in 6 months. So you've got lots of 3s and 6s. So I find it interesting when you look at it from a numerology point of view. These are just some questions, some ways of looking at things in a different way. I like to question things. So what's this all about? When people are scared, when we have these pandemics, when we have all these things that we feel are out of our control, we have the emotions of fear come up. We could have people running around feeling scared and fearful of this virus. And fear is an emotion. It's the frequency that is being generated through a lot of media, fear, news campaigns, scary movies, violence on the TV. What percentage of what you see on the TV is positive and what percentage is kind of evoking emotions of fear or distrust or anger at the world? These are all low vibration, low frequency emotions. And this is a way of keeping people under control through fear. And this is not anything new that hasn't been said before in the past, but I like to have a look from a different perspective to see why are these things happening. And then I look for patterns in history. Why has this been predicted in the past? How do these people know that these viruses are going to outbreak? And how does a technology entrepreneur or business person know about these viruses? It's not even a scientist that we're talking about here. We're talking about just elite business people that are talking about these virus outbreaks. It's just an interesting thing. So I like to think maybe we need to learn some lessons from this. Maybe we need to think about the way we treat the planet, the way we treat other animals. Do we need to consume these bats, these mice that are alive, these lobsters that are alive, these animals that are alive? Is that really necessary? Why are we getting entertainment and pleasure out of the suffering of another living being? What is that saying about humanity, our level of consciousness? Do we need to consume the amount of animal products that we consume? Do we need to breed and slaughter animals in such large quantities? Do we survive? There are so many people that are surviving without meat, without animal as a food source. Perhaps we need to think about the next level of consciousness for humanity. This is just a video to talk about what is the meaning of all of these outbreaks and these things that happen. And let's have a look and see where this will go from here. So what's happening at the moment? There are experts, epidemiologists, medical scientists, medical experts that are trying to contain the virus at a number of different countries and on a global level. In China, they are building a 1,000-bed hospital, a new one, to perhaps try and contain this virus to one building or to one place for treatment. 1,000 beds. Why they chose this number, I don't know yet, but it's interesting to see. They've got all these men, all these cranes out there on this massive site, land plot, building this hospital. How quick are they going to get there? You know, what are they expecting? What do they know? What else are they not telling us? That remains to be seen. So remember, keep questioning what you see on the TV, through the media, on the news. Question things and then think about it. How does it relate to your own life? How does it relate to you? This makes me think also about what I'm consuming, what I'm eating. In the past, I was a vegetarian and a vegan, and then I started eating small bits of meat again. At the moment, I have very little consumption of meat. This is me personally, small amount of chicken and fish, and I'm moving towards vegetarianism. So this is just my personal journey that I'm sharing with you. this is how some of these things are affecting me. It makes me think about my footprint on the earth. What am I doing? And how am I relating to other living beings? Do I place myself above animals? Have I even thought about this question before? Perhaps you've never even thought about this before. And this doesn't mean that you're any, a bad human being or any less than anybody else. This is just about questioning what is best for you and what you think is the best path forwards. So that's it for today. Remember, be happy, be healthy, and live your passion. And don't forget, I need to say, all these people that have been affected by the SARS virus in the past, the MERS virus, the current coronavirus, I think they're calling the NV 2019, something like that. All of these coronaviruses and any virus, I send my deepest, sincerest condolences and sympathies for you and love, because it's awful to be going through all of this stuff. Many innocent people have died and many people have been affected by this. So take care of yourself, do what you need to do to take care and look after yourself. Perhaps that just means vibrating on a high level, being happy and enjoying what you do have and appreciating what you do have. And also, if you feel that you need to wear a mask, if you feel that you need to protect yourself, then do that if you feel that that's what's right for you. But remember, be aware of what your actions are and what their footprints are on the earth, on the planet, and on other living beings. We have lost here in Australia, we have lost over 1 billion animals in bushfires. So at the moment, I am very, very close to feeling the loss in terms of animals and other living beings and creatures that inhabit this earth that we live on. We are custodians of planet Earth. The humans, we are custodians of Earth, caretakers of the planet. We are not supposed to be dominating over other living beings through force. We are supposed to be cohabiting this planet, cohabiting the Earth, and taking care. Being a custodian means to take care of something, look after something, not to destroy it, not to cause it pain and suffering. So let's think about that. All right, that's it for now. Bye for now.